Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. President Bola Tinubu on Friday sympathized with former President Goodluck Jonathan over the death of his sister, Obi Hatin Jonathan. Tinubu conveyed his condolences through a statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajurin Gelale, titled "President Tinubu condoles with Dr. Goodluck Jonathan over sister's passing." Fondly called Amisi, was a teacher, businesswoman, mother, and grandmother. According to Jonathan's media office, she died on Thursday, January 11, 2024, at the Federal Medical Center, Yenagoa, Bayelsa, after a brief illness at the age of 70. Vice President Kashim Shettima has appealed to warring stakeholders of the People's Progressive Congress, APC, in Benue State to bury the hatchet for the development to thrive in the state. The Vice President made the appeal during his visit to Makurdi to flag off the micro, small and medium enterprises clinics. Political observers had said the crux of the crisis lies on the doorstep of the state governor, Hyacinth Alia, and his perceived godfather, the secretary to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, over alleged control of party structure in the state, with their loyalists doing the exchanges on their behalf. However, Shettima stressed the need for peace to prevail in its political space. The spokesperson for the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the 2023 presidential campaign organization, Daniel Bwala, visited President Bola Tinubu, describing him as his motivation that might draw him into the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. According to him, he has no apologies for supporting Tinubu's administration, adding that if supporting the president will cause him to join the APC, he would not mind. Speaking to State House correspondent after a meeting with President Tinubu, Bwala said the purpose of his visit was to extend felicitations to the president, praising his adept governance and steadfast policies aimed at piloting the nation towards greater heights.
I came to celebrate and congratulate him, and then to also give him our commitment that as citizens of the country, this is a time for all of us to throw our weight behind and support the administration. There are difficult things in this country: hardship, poverty, insecurity, and the only way we can come together and support the achievement of this objective, I think, is for us to give our best in supporting the administration. So I came to congratulate him and then to tell him that I'm particularly excited about the recent policy decision he has taken to demonstrate that he's about the people and not just protecting his people.
The federal government has backtracked on its decision to construct all federal roads using only rigid concrete pavement. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, disclosed the policy reversal during a meeting with all contractors at the ministry headquarters. This latest development comes several months after the minister directed all contractors handling federal government highways across the country to immediately dump the use of asphalt and adopt concrete technology. The announcement, which was met with stiff resistance from contractors, stalled the completion of several road projects. But Umahi, meeting with contractors in Abuja, the third of its kind since the minister assumed office in August 2023, said the government didn't ban the use of asphalt, but was trying to cut down on its geometric pricing. He said he, however, gave a caveat that specific road projects will be constructed using concrete pavement. The National Judicial Council, NJC, has clarified that no date has yet been fixed for the swearing-in of the newly appointed 11 justices of the Supreme Court. The council said that the purported news by an Abuja-based media organization suggesting Monday, January 16, for the inauguration of the justices did not emanate from it. A statement by the NJC's Director of Information, Barrister Soji Oye, clarified that neither the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Aruola, who is the NJC chairman, nor the council itself authored or endorsed the purported date. While asking members of the public to disregard the news, the NJC said that the date for the swearing-in of the justices will be made public at the appropriate time. Security agencies in Kano have vowed to forestall the breakdown of law and order as anxiety continues to mount ahead of today's final verdict of the Supreme Court in Kano State governorship election. The Kano State governor and candidate of the New Nigerian People's Party, Abba Yusuf, is seeking to overturn the verdict of the Court of Appeal and Election Petitions Tribunal, which nullified his victory in the March 18 governorship poll. The two lower courts declared the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Nasir Gawuna, as the winner of the poll. The judgment of the Court of Appeal sacking Yusuf created tension and provoked protest in Kano following reported discrepancies in the certified true copy of the judgment, which the court later said was a clerical error. Former Minister of Power and Steel Olu Agunloye has been granted bail in the amount of 50 million naira by Justice Jude Okubweze of the Federal High Court, Federal Capital Territory in Apo on Thursday, January 11th. Agunloye is facing 7 charges related to contract fraud and government misconduct. The judge had previously ordered Agunloye's confinement at the Kuje Correctional Center pending a hearing and decision on his bail application. Adedipe also contested the court's requirement of Agunloye to have a public official as a guarantor, stressing that the trial could continue even if the defendant absconds. The prosecution counsel opposed the bail application, but Justice Owubweze ruled in favor of granting bail to the defendant. The Supreme Court has affirmed the election of Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Sanwo-Olu's victory was upheld by the Tribunal and Appeal Court in the state. The kernel of the case of the Labour Party candidate in the election, Gbadebo Rhodes Vivo, is on Sanwo-Olu's running mate qualification. He claimed that the Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat had renounced his citizenship as a Nigerian. The court added renunciation of citizenship of citizens by birth must be registered by the Nigerian president, adding that the appellate did not provide any evidence to that effect. The court, however, dismissed the appeal by the Labour Party candidate for lacking in merit. The government of Imo State has revealed details about the second inauguration of Senator Hope Uzodinma as the governor of the state. In a briefing on Thursday on the event that would take place on January 15, 2024, the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emelumba, said that the governor had set up a 100-member committee for the second term inauguration. He stated that the 100-member committee was set up by Governor Uzodinma to oversee the success of the occasion. Emelumba also said dignitaries nationwide and beyond would be expected to grace the occasion, including Imolites who voted the governor en masse. NIMET's weather report has forecast moderate dust haze with reduced visibility and localized thunderstorms across the country on Friday. NIMET said that over the northern region and north-central states, the forecast includes a horizontal visibility range of 2 to 5 kilometers, posing potential risk for road and air travel. It emphasized the necessity for precautions in light of the suspended dust particles. It urged the general public that people with asthma and other respiratory issues should exercise caution and limit outdoor exposure due to the present weather conditions. Additionally, NIMET stressed the need for proactive measures among airline operators, encouraging them to stay updated with the latest weather report from NIMET to ensure effective operational planning. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Akwa Ibom Command says it has apprehended 8 suspects for offenses ranging from abduction of minors, child labor, and illegal mining in different operations in the state. The commandant said the suspects involved in the abduction and child labor would be handed over to relevant agencies on the conclusion of profiling and investigation, while the illegal miner would be charged to court. Eluwade called on Akwa Ibom people and residents to shun all forms of crime, as the command would not hesitate to arrest and prosecute all criminals to keep the state safe. Following the growing insecurities along the Abuja-Kaduna Express and the kidnapping attacks on communities on that corridor, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, has implemented measures to enhance safety and security in the region. The IGP emphasized the need for collaborations between various security agencies and concerned communities in the region. He urged the public to remain vigilant, report any suspicious activities, and cooperate with security personnel, as the collective effort is crucial in maintaining the security and well-being of all residents and travelers. He assured the public that these strengthened security measures are part of an ongoing commitment to ensuring a secure and peaceful environment. The police command in Gombe State said it had rescued 3 babies and arrested 16 suspects in a case of alleged child trafficking and criminal conspiracy. ASP Majid Abubakar, Police Public Relations Officer, PRO of the command, said this while briefing journalists on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, Hayatu Usman, in Gombe. According to the police spokesperson, the command received an intelligence report on one of the parents who sold her child to the alleged traffickers. In a bid to get to the bottom of how humongous cash was moved from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation to private hands, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has extended its probe to directors and other key officials of the ministry and its agencies. The top officials were summoned by the Anti-Graft Agency to meet face-to-face with the suspended Minister Betta Edu, the suspended coordinator of the National Social Intervention Program, Halima Shehu, and top bank officials whose votes were used in custodying the huge cash without reporting to the authorities, in keeping with financial reporting protocols. They were invited based on the fact that some of those interviewed earlier mentioned some of them as having played one role or the other, and were summoned because based on their determination to get all the facts and arrive at a decision that will be fair to everyone. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has appointed new executives to oversee the affairs of Union, Keystone, and Polaris banks. This followed the dissolution of the board and management of the banks by the Apex Bank. In its report to President Bola Tinubu, the panel led by Jim Ovia recommended forfeiture of the affected banks to the federal government. In a statement, CBN Acting Director Corporate Communications Hakama Seed Ali stated that Olayemi Kadoso, Governor of the CBN, approved the new executives to oversee the affairs of the 3 banks, stating that the appointments take immediate effect. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has invited civil society organizations and non-governmental organizations interested in observing the February rerun and by-elections to apply via an online portal or before January 17. The Commission stated this in a notice issued by its acting Director of Electoral Party Monitoring, Hawa Habib, in Abuja. She added that INEC was conducting the by-election and rerun elections stemming from the 2023 general election as directed by the various election petition appeal tribunals. A human rights activist and a senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called on Nigerian police to conduct proper investigations into the case of brutality against lawyers in Lagos State. Falana made the call during the peaceful protest organized by members of the Nigerian Bar Association Lagos against the unlawful arrest and detention of a lawyer, Olumide Sonopo, by the police in the state. The lawyers, who are members of about 5 branches of the NBA, marched from its Ikeja secretariat while displaying banners to the command headquarters, where the State Commissioner of Police, Adegoke Fayode, addressed them. This is coming hours after the CP had ordered the removal of the divisional police officer of Moshalashi Police Station, Austin Arase, who ordered Sonope's detention. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Torid Lagbaja has cautioned soldiers against the abuse of social media, warning the Army authorities would not take it lightly with any personnel who take to social media to denigrate constituted authorities. The Army boss, who gave the warning while addressing soldiers during a familiarization tour at 14th Brigade or Hafia, Abia State, tasked soldiers with showing loyalty and respect for the core values of the Nigerian Army, condemning the recent uncomplimentary remarks by a one-way driver soldier against the governor of Lagos State. The COAS threatened severe sanctions against any soldier abusing the use of social media. The Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG, Federal Criminal Investigation Department, FCID, Alagbon, Lagos, Idowu Owowunawa, has called for crucial utilization of forensic criminal data to carry out investigations. Owowunawa made the call while briefing officers and men of the FCID on the current initiatives of the IG to reinstate the deployment department as the leading investigative agency in accordance with the rule of law and professional excellence, making emphasis on the imperative use of intelligence-led tools to bolster investigation. The AIG cautioned detectives against restoring to custodial violence, calling on them to respect citizens' rights and maintain a zero-tolerance stance on corruption and professional misconduct. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Marwa, retired, says the upgrade of the forensic laboratory of the agency by the United States Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs will enhance operational standard and optimal performance of the NDAE in its renewed fight against substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking in Nigeria. Marwa, who started this in Lagos, said the facility is anticipating the provision of state-of-the-art analytical equipment to enhance optimal performance in line with standard operational laboratory procedures and best practices, which in turn will enhance evidence-based analytical processes in forensic analysis. The agency boss, who was represented at the event by the agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, emphasized the importance of modern forensic laboratories to the successful fight against illicit drugs in the country. You're watching Midday News live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Midday News returns, despite $2.2 billion Afrimex Bank's inflow, Naira continues to depreciate. The news continues shortly with details of these and more stories right after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of the midday news. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Joe Biden's son, Hunter, has pleaded not guilty to tax offenses in California federal court. He was indicted last month on 9 criminal counts, including for failing to pay his taxes on time from 2016 to 2019, filing false tax returns in 2018, and tax evasion. If convicted on these charges, Biden could face up to 17 years in prison. He is also facing federal charges over felony gun offenses, to which he has already pleaded not guilty. Biden, 53, made his first appearance in the tax case at a downtown Los Angeles courtroom on Thursday afternoon, where a sea of cameras had gathered outside, and the U.S. Secret Service officers had earlier conducted a security sweep. By passing the press through the rear entrance, he sat solemnly at the defense desk between his lawyers, then stood as his lawyer entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. The father of 4 agreed to be released without detention on several conditions, including that he cannot drink, consume drugs, maintain employment, or buy guns if he violates the terms of his release. The judge warned that there would be an arrest warrant out for the president's son, and he may be imprisoned. And that's how we call it a wrap on the midday news. I am Anthony Momodio. Good afternoon.